now time to start this, town meeting, or town council meeting for Ione, January 3rd. It's also
Are the minutes from the December 20th Ione Council meeting? So Mayor Warren called the regular meeting of the Ione Town Council to order at 7 o'clock p.m. with the following council members present: McNeil, Timrick, S. Shipley, M. Shipley, and Vogel. Employee Cannon was present. Pledge of Allegiance. The minutes of the December 6th meeting were read and approved as read. A motion was made by S. Shipley, seconded by McNeil, to approve accounts payable in the amount of $80,927.64. All agreed. Nolan and Eileen Crossley addressed the council regarding their intentions to purchase the mobile home park located on Blackwell Street. They advised that they would like to purchase the park and continue to operate it as a mobile home park. They have no plans to expand the park, but would like to rent out all 12 spaces currently on the property. They have checked with the county assessor, who confirmed all permits are up to date on the property, which is zoned as a mobile home park and taxed as such. Community Development also has no concerns with continued operation as a mobile park. However, the town has jurisdiction, and the current development code for Ione seems to disallow mobile home parks. Before they proceed with the purchase, they're asking for the council for documentation and validity, stating that the town is aware of the site being operated as a mobile home park and are okay with the continued operation in that capacity. County Commissioner Brian Smiley provided some insight, advising that if the property has been in continuous operation as a mobile home park, current zoning does not matter. They would be grandfathered in so long as the use of the property remains the same. A motion was made by Vogel, seconded by McNeil, to approve the continued use of the property as a mobile home park, noting that there are some details regarding water and sewer hookups that will need to be finalized. The town will work directly with the Crosleys to create an agreement regarding how water and sewer hookups will be handled. Motion passed unanimously. 2 salary letters were reviewed, discussed, and signed. One letter updated the 2023 salary to reflect the newly hired custodian. The second letter outlined payroll for 2024. Timrick stated that he has tried to do his best for the town in his tenure as a councilman, but that he will be traveling a lot in the future, and therefore this will be his last council meeting. He confirmed he intends to resign. Warren thanked him for his service to the town. Vogel reviewed updates on the community outdoor plan grant. Deadlines have been pushed out again, the pre-application process opening on January 17th. He advised this is still a good opportunity for the town, but will require some work. The first step is to identify uses for potential grant funding. As Shipley asked if we had received documentation confirming the nonprofit status of Innovate Ione. Cannon advised the documentation has not yet been received. Innovate Ione did submit tax documentation confirming their EIN number. However, this document does not indicate the profit status of the entity. Cannon confirmed that they had reserved the ICC in 2023 and were granted use without fees based on their nonprofit status. Their last ICC rental in December of 2023 was paid, as we had not received confirmation of their nonprofit status yet. Innovate Ione VP, who was recording the meeting for the Selkirk Sun, advised that she was under the impression that the documentation confirming their nonprofit status had been provided to the town, and advised she would follow up to ensure correct documentation is provided. Vogel asked for clarification on the service contract with the Pondere County Sheriff. Warren advised it was last reviewed and updated in 2022. She believes that the sheriff is fulfilling the contract to the best of their ability. M. Shipley advised that he is planning to read the contract carefully prior to the next council meeting so that he can bring up any concerns with the sheriff, who is scheduled to attend the next council meeting. McNeil advised that he understood the sheriff's office was understaffed, which was causing a reduction in service. County Commissioner Smiley advised that the sheriff's office will be fully staffed as of next week. He confirmed that the commissioners approved the full budget that the sheriff asked for. He further advised that the money is not the core problem, but that hiring is difficult and there is significant backlog in the training academy. So even after an officer is hired, it can take up to 11 months to get them into training. He also reminded the council that the town has every right to review and renegotiate the contract directly with the sheriff's office. Warren asked for permission to read a letter. The council agreed. Warren read a letter she had written personally, along with 2 additional documents that are part of the public record. One was a letter sent to the town by a resident, and the other was documentation she had been served notifying her of a recall petition. All 3 letters are attached. Meeting adjourned at 7:55 PM.
Any corrections? Okay, minutes stand as read. I'd like to remind everybody at this time that we do follow, and loosely, the, governed by Robert's Rules of Order. And since I am still having difficulty hearing, John may have to repeat things people say so that I can hear. This is the only ear that I'm able to hear out of somewhat. So now we can move on to paying the bills. May I have a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $13,120.60.
So moved. Second.
Neil? Any second?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And Caprelli seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve bills in the amount of $15,740.86?
Well, before we do that, I just have a couple quick questions regarding some of those bills. So, the question I have is, we had that mopping contract on the airport. It's my understanding that that is, we have 16,000, and that's gonna be transferred over to mopping, is that correct? Once the FAA.
I believe, yeah.
Okay. And then the total is 21,000, but we still have trees at the airport, so I'm a little curious as to where this ends. Does that make sense? Because we're gonna pay 21,000, how much more are we gonna pay to get that airport clear?
I think the trees that were scheduled to be removed were removed.
Well, they're
Is that correct?
Timmerick set it up, as far
Yeah.
as I know.
We would have to get that information from Timmerick. As far as we know, it's done. There won't be given any more money.
do we have a contract with mopping? Anything that outlines the duties, responsibilities, what we expect, what we don't? Does anybody know?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because I know it was approved by council, so.
was it approved by council without a contract?
I can't remember back that far, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So are we ready to approve? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the bills in $15,740.86? Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Okay, Neil, who seconded? Anybody? Okay, Esther, please second it. All agree?
Aye.
And now, Sheriff Blakesley, you can present yours.
Good evening.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. And as you all know, Mr. Timmerick resigned last council meeting, and I checked with MRSC, and it's up to the council to appoint a person to his position. And,
Aren't we required to put out a request for?
no, we aren't. I got all the RCWs, everything right here.
I'd like to see those, please.
Yes.
Okay, I'm missing a paper. Oh, that's because it's there. We are not required to, advertise, especially when we have somebody who we can already put in the position because he's already been sworn in. And I talked to MRSC today, and they're the ones that sent me the information.
Just really quick,
MRSC?
MRSC, right? And they have a big disclaimer, is that not correct, that they don't give out legal advice?
Right.
Do you
But
know
they
why?
do give you information. They
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
give me legal advice. They gave me information.
And did this go through our council?
Our legal counsel? It
Yeah.
doesn't need to, we don't have to take everything through legal counsel.
Well, if we're gonna be prudent, I think we need to. Like I said, that organization is not our legal counsel, right? And they have a disclaimer that says they're not. And they do.
But this is Washington State
I
laws,
understand.
Mr. Piccarelli, and we do go
I'm not
by the
gonna debate
Washington
this.
State laws.
Right, this is not a debate. What I'm saying
No,
is this
it's
needs to
not,
go-
but I'm telling you a fact, and if you can't stick with that, you can choose not to vote or whatever, but
Do you
the
know
fact
who-
is
okay,
you
stop.
guys can
Stop.
appoint,
Point
you're
of order.
required to appoint a council member.
This is a council meeting, Mayor.
Yes, I know.
This is for the council. So if you could just abstain for just, while we do.
I am also the chair. And I am to keep order in this meeting, and I will.
Well, since this hasn't gone through our legal counsel, and you're referencing an organization that can't make these determinations, I don't see that this having any standing whatsoever. None. No validity.
Because it's also in here. This
Again,
part of, this discussion's over.
No, it's not over, because see, I'm a member of this council, you don't decide when we're done debating things. Do you understand? Consult Robert's rules if you like. That's not how this works. This is between the council, so what I'm saying is the council should consider.
Mr. Piccarelli,
Do you not?
you need to stop right now. If you don't, if you wanted to ask the council to table it to further discussion, we can do that. But you're not going to take over this meeting and micromanage the RCWs. That's why they make this book, so we don't always have to go to legal counsel, because this is a legal document. It has all the
It is not.
RCWs in it.
Okay, me and you aren't gonna talk about this anymore, this is for the council, and I want the council to consider something. The MRSC does not give out legal advice for a reason. If we're gonna vet these things, it needs to go through our legal counsel to make sure that we're doing the appropriate things. It's just to safeguard our liabilities, it's not a big issue, it's a phone call, we can do these things, we can get it resolved, and then we can move forward. So I think for now, the prudent thing to do is to table it until we do speak to our council. So, all in favor of just tabling this until we speak to our council? Can I get a second?
You can't say that.
I can.
That's,
You can.
no.
No, ma'am. You're not allowed to bring motions to this table. This is
I'm not
council
bringing a
meeting. I'm
motion to the
I'm a
table.
councilman and
I'm bringing
asking-
information to the table. Mr. Piccarelli, if you're gonna constantly interrupt me, you'll be escorted out of this premises.
I would like to see that happen. Go ahead. That's not gonna work out well for anybody.
He has a valid question,
Yes, he does.
okay? You are hammering him for bringing up a valid question. That is not, what am I word I'm looking for? That is not in proper decorum. Now, he just asked, do we need to, let's table it, okay? He needs a second, I'll be glad to second it. Because what it boils down to is we are gonna follow the law to the T.
Right, and we are.
But you also were interrupting him. You're telling him he can't interrupt you, but you can't interrupt him. And that's the point of order I'd like to bring up. Under Robert's Rules of Order, if somebody has the floor, you have to allow them to make the point. Oops, excuse me. That's all I'm asking.
So. There was two motions. Does everyone, all in favor of tabling this?
Aye.
2 ayes, 2 abstain.
Is that abstain or vote no?
Abstain. Okay, then this will be tabled.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to old business, which is the shoreline master, plan. That needs to be okayed by the town council.
I have a question. When you, on that shoreline plan, it states in there, and I'm paraphrasing, that if they wanna come on your property, they can do so at any time without a warrant or without any, head notice. I disagree with that.
That's something you have to take up with the county. They had the public meetings. I attended almost every one of them.
But then I don't, but even then, what they sent out to me, and what I got from, I don't know, John, did you send out the email with all that stuff on it?
Yeah.
It was all draft. It's not an actual,
Right, this isn't even a finalized product.
there we go, that's
Sort
what
of what you brought here, this is all draft, half it's redacted, 75%. It's not in its final stages, we can't vote on something that's not finalized yet, we just can't do it. Additionally, and I would like to read this is the right of entry, and it says specifically, in violation of the 4th and 5th Amendment of the Constitution, and it says, whenever necessary to make an inspection or to enforce any provisions of this title, or whenever the shoreline administrator has reasonable cause, not proved cause, to believe that a violation of this title exists or is occurring on any property or within any building authorized, county, city, or town personnel may enter onto such property within any business at any time without due process. You can't do that. And so we can't violate constitutional law. We swore an oath to uphold it. So we don't have a final draft, and we have violations of the Constitution. So as far as I'm concerned, this dies right here.
We were sent a copy, but the county does have the final draft. Am I not correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Cause you sent them the one that,
The red line, yeah, which is the most recent one that they provided us.
well, we're probably gonna have to table this one more time to get county to come up and explain it. Can't find what I'm looking for.
And also, I'd like to recommend that the Department of Ecology attend that same meeting so they can kind of justify their position as well. I'm not sure why you're shaking your head, sir. Is there something that you need to say, or you feel like you would like to say?
No,
Okay.
not by me.
that was the only problem I had with that plan. One is a draft, it's got half of it redacted, and then the other half is, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but it's unconstitutional. I don't know who owns property on the water here, but if anybody does, they can walk into your property or in your house anytime they want,
Without due process.
without any due process.
And it's not just to the shoreline. This
Okay.
includes lakes, rivers, streams. So,
Since, are we gonna table this also?
I move we table it.
I
Yes,
second.
I'm sorry, I should have checked to see, there is a final plan, I have seen it, it's, now that you said it was a draft, there was a draft before that, there's a final, and since we go by the, our shoreline plan, we're in, what's that word? They do our shoreline management. Interlocal agreement. We have an interlocal agreement with them. So all we have to do is, by law, we need to sign a statement, but we'll table it until we get the final draft to you guys so you can figure it out.
Sounds good.
And then just clarification for me, do you want me to request then as somebody from Department of Ecology to be present at that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's, I'm hearing consensus on that, okay.
So all in favor of, cause I take it McNeil made the motion and you seconded it?
That is correct.
This- Really? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I only heard one aye.
Aye.
Two of-
Okay, yeah,
My apologies.
I'm having troubles hearing, so.
two abstain.
Okay. So, that's the end of our agenda. And it is, does the audience have any, the public have any questions at this time?
I would like to make a comment, if I could. Richard Vogel. Since I'm no longer on the town council, I'll just kind of give an update as to where I was at with the Community Outdoor Athletic Facilities Fund. So I had signed up for an applicant webinar on January 17th. So that's going to be roughly.
Is it okay for him to be recording separately?
Yes. Actually, I'm not recording. What I'm doing is I'm marking, let me go ahead and save this gentleman's time.
Is it okay for him to be recording separately?
Yes. Actually, I'm not recording. What I'm doing is I'm marking, let me go ahead and as I'm sure you're aware, you have 3 minutes, and I want
Do
to
you
make sure
have
that
a cell
nobody
phone?
violates that.
Yeah,
I
he's
do.
recording.
It's not recording, it's just marking.
I'm looking at it,
It's
dude.
a timer.
It's a timer.
I'm looking at it.
Excuse me, who are you?
Who are you?
My name is Michael Pickering, I'm a councilman here. If you have something you'd like.
The floor.
Yes.
I was granted
Yes.
the floor for 3 minutes. Unless you have a point of order, you're not in a position to call time on me. So can we resume my time?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I had signed up for the applicant webinar on January 17th, which is going to be in 2 weeks, but I would have to be on town council in order to be able to do that. So at this point, I'm considering, or have been considering, I had not received any input other than from the Island Beautification Committee. They were interested in joining funds. I believe they had, at least at that point, it was a couple months ago, roughly $13,000 that they would like to contribute to this fund if we were going to get the grant. The pre-application is also open on January 17th. I had anticipated doing some sort of construction work at the park, maybe something with the dock.
Mm-hmm.
The minimum is $50,000. I have asked for some input from some coworkers and people I've worked with before for drone scanning of the park, which I could take that point, do some photogrammetry, and possibly create a 3D model as a website for hopefully maybe some community input. This is something I do. It would be free, the website, there's no charge for it. Doing the 3D modeling and stuff, I could do that.
We do have a parks master plan of it, and it's,
Yeah,
I
I would be interested in any sort of models or
That might help.
anything like that to help kind of dial in the photogrammetry with that. But at this point, I would be powerless to do that. So that would be up to town council to review if they were interested in proceeding with that. So, thank you.
I do have a quick question. What was the name of that grant?
The Community Outdoor Athletic
Thank you.
Facilities Fund.
Yeah.
It's a COAF.
And have you provided a copy of your work to the clerk's office so it can be available for the rest of the council?
Yeah, he provided it last,
I've given everything
last
at
council
meetings.
meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I have a copy on my desk.
Okay.
Okay,
Is there
Any more
any other
questions?
public comment? Is there any other public comment?
hey, do you have something you wanna say, ma'am?
No,
Oh,
not right now.
hey, anybody else? Okay, then this,
Well, Madam Mayor, just really quick, I had a couple of questions for the council, and for the council only, regarding,
you have to ask, go through me to ask some questions. That's my job as chair.
ask your question.
So you ask me and I'll ask them.
Okay. Can you ask them why it was that they asked to circumvent a meeting with this council, when they were gonna meet with Steve Marsh? This was in September 12th. And Steve wanted to meet the council regarding the sidewalk project, but instead of meeting at this meeting in a public forum.
I'm gonna have to call point of order
Okay,
because
go
that
ahead.
has something to do with the past and this is not the time to bring it up. If you wanna bring it up to me in my office, then we'll talk about this. And I can have all the information for you there.
Okay, this is a public forum, this is a public matter, so I'm bringing it up now. So if you're saying that you don't
And
want to.
I'm saying, I cannot answer you because I don't have the information in front of me.
I'll
If you
file
wanna
another
make an
petition.
appointment
You
with
have yourself
me,
a good day. Thank
you can.
Yes, ma'am. That's perfectly fine. I'll have a cake on you so fast. Go ahead.
Okay. Any other public comment? Council member have to say anything? And, okay, then we're gonna adjourn this Ione Town Council meeting at 7:00.